Hello everybody, Liberty Block here, of the Deplorable Batcave, which is being very kindly hosted by Seawell. And in today's episode, we have, on our left, Concerned Commoner.
Hello.
Our host, Seawell.
Hello.
Chase.
How y'all doing?
It's Uncle Art.
Being as though today is National Notorious B.I.G. Day in the U.S.
Spartacus.
I greet you, my brethren.
And C.
Mastermind, hello.
So, there have been some very dramatic events occurring this week, and I think first and foremost on all our minds is the revelation that is Vault 7. So I put it to the floor to discuss this topic.
Well, first a word from our sponsor, buy gold, buy lots of gold, because the apocalypse is coming because of Vault 7.
Duly noted.
Well, there's more than that, apparently. There's more reasons to fear the apocalypse. Because now, according to Sally Cohn, Trump is capable of controlling the weather.
But Obama couldn't do it.
And the darkness covers the land as Trump gazes his empire.
You guys' favorite Texas radio show host asked if there was any kind of weather weapons. And no way Obama could have done it, but Trump can, just a short 4 years later.
Well, didn't they have that secret weather, quote-unquote, weather facility in Alaska?
Okay, guys. This is a no tinfoil hat zone. That stuff is extremely questionable. The facility in question, I actually believe was just either a giant power transformer or it was just some sort of experimental radio wave facility.
It's where they were storing the Borg.
It was meant to turn the frogs gay.
Yes, it's a facility that makes the frogs gay.
I, for one, Jesse the Body Ventura, would like to fully admit to the fact that this is most likely a plot to turn the frogs gay.
But
You are a damn frog!
You just wait. The next WikiLeaks is going to come out, and it's going to turn out there was a weather control machine there the whole freaking time.
Excuse me, sir. I was a frog man. I am not a gay frog. I'm a heterosexual frog man.
And in Vault 8, the frogs will be gay. Will be gay.
They will not be
gentlemen,
gay. Patriots will make sure it's not
Guys,
gay.
we're getting...
If we can stay on topic.
My God, I make one comment based on Sally Cohn, who's an admitted nut job, and you all just go nuts.
How about the new healthcare system that Republicans proposed?
Chase, the topic brought up is the Vault 7.
Yes.
You're right.
Okay.
Revolution.
The Vault 7, what it shows is that even though Alex Jones is completely insane, he was a canary in the coal mine. He was giving us warning about stuff like this along with others. Snowden has thrown his name into the hat with this one too, saying that the documents look legitimate based on his insider knowledge, that only really an insider would know a lot of these terms. WikiLeaks is the one who broke it, and they've got an impeccable record. And, well, this also shows that the Obama administration flat out lied to the public. Either the CIA went rogue or Obama lied, neither of which is a good sign.
No, but which one is more likely?
I'm going to go with the answer of yes.
Well, the whole incident has proven to me that the CIA are incompetent, like to the nth degree.
Well, I think in some aspects they are, but in most aspects they're not. Like, in trying to overthrow communist regimes and putting in quote-unquote democratic ones, yeah, I don't think they're good in that aspect. Okay. But I think it was more the rogue. I'm getting more rogue CIA more than anything.
Yeah, it's like...
But under the CIA, but under CIA, let's call it rules, all operations have to be ordered by the president. So, I mean, if they're rogue, that shows that they are violating their own rules, which wouldn't surprise me. Or that Obama's done a lot more than people want to give him credit for.
Wait, I thought the president didn't have that sort of authority. I thought that's what the media was harping up and down about.
No, the president actually has quite a bit of authority in the CIA. Let me quickly look up.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I was arguing with somebody about it today, and they said the president doesn't have that quote-unquote kind of power.
No, if he goes or does something, they haven't. Well, if he does, and they have taken it.
The director of the CIA is directly under the control of the president. He's considered an advisor to the president. They're with the congressional oversight.
Well, here's a question: if that is indeed how it ought to be, how then does that explain all these various operations that have been going on? I mean, you can't keep the lid on something of this.
Oh yeah, the bigger something gets, the harder it is to hide. The more people
right.
involved, somebody at some point is going to grow conscious.
Exactly. I know that sounds very tinfoil hat, but just by logic alone, if you're running an operation that requires hundreds, if not thousands, of people to be involved, surveilling hundreds of thousands more, not millions more.
Well, it's also why the whole 9/11 truthers are completely wrong about the entire thing, because they're assuming that they can get enough people to bury all of this. Because the thing, the truthers claim that they used demolitions to blow the towers.
Right.
Here's the problem.
Yeah.
That requires the amount of engineers that you would need. You'd have to swear them in. They'd have to know it. And you don't think that one of these guys would have at some point, because they were involved in killing thousands, wouldn't have gone like, oh God, what the hell have I done, and blow the whistle on it?
Well, not only that, too. I mean, if they're getting if they're getting work in one of the most busy points on the planet, do you not think somebody would notice?
Yeah. I mean, there are those that claim, oh, it looks like a demolition. There are New York firefighters that claim they saw demolition charges. I would chalk that up basically to it was fucking hell, and the human mind is extremely bad at tricking itself. It's actually really good. Like, people will misremember details. Eyewitness testimony is considered one of the worst forms of evidence to have in a trial.
But regardless, I mean, again, we're getting a little bit off topic. This is a specific set of revelations, and apparently only the tip of the iceberg of what's been going on recently, and with the advancements of technology that's long surpassed that of 9/11.
May I ask a question?
By all means,
how far back do some of these dated things go?
I think 1999 is when the first initial capabilities were for them to do very basic versions of what they're doing now.
So when
they got fiber optic cables, so they have the ability to mass move data into the CIA.
Now, so what's that? 25 years?
2017.
2017. I'm sorry. So what is that? 26 years. I'm sorry, my time is all off. So they were able to keep this shit hitting for 26 years so far. We're not 26 years away from 9/11. And we've had guys throughout the years up until this point telling us, the Alex Joneses of the world, that they're doing this shit. And we've been fucking blind to it so far.
Wait, did you say 99?
I believe so. I don't have it in front of me, but I remember reading 1990.
Almost 2 decades.
17 years.
Yeah. So effectively, let's just say 2 decades, since there was some stuff before the late 1999.
I make the point because a second ago, you guys were arguing the point that you can't hide this thing for so long, which is a valid argument.
Yeah.
But it wasn't hidden for this long. There's been people screaming, fear-mongering a lot of this information. and we've been just like, this shit can't be true to a point.
best
that
form
the
of
reason
hiding.
why the reason why they were able to bury it was because the mainstream media was still trusted at the time. The mainstream media was able to act as a smokescreen. You know, like CNN goes, "Oh, this guy's just a loon. Don't listen to him. We know what's going on. We're the most trusted name in news."
But it's only recently, within maybe the last year, that mainstream media lost its credibility.
Yeah.
Well, even if you factor in the
And then that's
conspiracy theory element to it, I think there's just been a passive acceptance that maybe the government has been spying on us for a long time, and people have just sort of normalized it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there was a movie in the early 2000s that basically Enemy of
Eagle Eye?
State. Eagle Eye might have been one of them. I think there was a few of them that just.
There was Enemy
been a
of
bunch of
State.
them.
Will
Enemy of
Smith. And
State.
Will
Gene
Smith
Hackman.
was in it.
Yep.
And I think our
Gene
culture
Hackman, yeah.
has sort of internalized and normalized being spied on. Whether or not we knew it was
Well-
definitely going on with proof. We definitely were willing to believe it.
Hello, someone else has joined. Would you like to introduce
Yes,
yourself?
Yeah, let me quit Discord so there isn't any.
Hello, Miss
Hello,
Malevolent.
Mr. Leveland. Welcome to the hangout.
Stop.
Yeah.
Hello.
But as we were kind of saying, yeah, like people have internalized it. But the thing is, I'm not opposed to the idea of metropolitan police cameras and things like that are on public streets and public areas. The problem I have is when they start dipping into your privacy. Like, as I was telling some of you guys earlier, I am not opposed to the government watching all completely public communication. Basically, your Twitters, your Facebooks. If it's publicly posted, it's fair game in my eyes.
Yeah, I see it that way too.
Yeah.
The only issue I have is I want them to be able to this sounds awful. I want them to be able to spy on us, quote unquote, but I just want it to be done in a more ethical manner. I want there to be, regulations, because I do not like terrorists, and I don't want another 9/11 happen. If there's something we can do to prevent that, I would very much enjoy that.
Well, it's real simple. All you have to do is remove kebab.
You're not going to prevent it, though.
But that will be used then, and
Yeah, I know. It's just,
probably has been as was the case in Germany to police things like hate speech and the like.
Yeah.
so, like language censoring, you think it could be used for that, maybe?
Well,
It already has been in Germany.
yeah, Chase. What you're doing is you're opening up the
here for the
floodgates.
same thing.
If you allow one type of private communications to be tapped, you have to let all of them be tapped, because the justification can continue to go down. That's why I say I'm only okay with public and what a warrant can do. Because the thing is, before the Patriot Act, do you know how easy it was to get a wiretap warrant?
Probably very hard.
Nope, you only needed a little bit of circumstantial evidence to get it.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it took almost nothing. You can get them same day, but they didn't want to have to go through that anymore because that did require scrutiny. That's why the Patriot Act allowed it to be pretty much bypassed completely, and setting up this very secretive FISA courts that are completely separate from everything else.
Well,
Okay.
also you have to consider that the CIA is not alone in this. They've been trading these methods with what's called the Five Eyes, which is Australia, Canada, New Zealand, UK, and of course us, the United States. And while technically the CIA isn't allowed to spy on us legally, they can spy on other countries, and those countries can use that same methods to spy on us, and they are allowed to trade secrets with each other. So it's almost kind of
this
an
is how they circumvent.
Ah.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
this is how they circumvent national laws.
Yeah, it's an
in terms of spying on their own
international.
citizens.
Yeah.
I'll spy on your citizens if you
And you
spy
spy
on mine.
Yeah. Well, also one thing that I can tell you the exact legislation that would kill that completely. American intelligence agencies cannot accept intelligence on American citizens unless there is a warrant for that intelligence. And the same thing can be put through all the Five Eyes, and that would basically kill that entire system. But they would never let it pass, at least before Trump became
It's
president.
I'll pull up. It's a matter of national security, see you all.
That's
And we cannot reveal much information because it can't compromise the safety of our sources and blah blah blah.
well. That's why I want the CIA shut down completely and what assets it has put effectively under military control, because the military does have those checks and balances through their intelligence services, like naval intelligence and the DIA. And if somebody goes out of line, they're not going to be getting a standard American court where you could make some sort of emotional appeal. No, their trial is going to be a military officer as the judge and a bunch of ground pounders whom effectively have no emotion, that are just going to look at the facts.
That's a military tribunal. That's
Yep.
not due process.
But if you want to be part of intelligence, you got to join the military. That's my position.
I don't know about that.
That's getting the military to spy on civilians.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't give them the ability to spy on civilians. If they want to get information from civilians, they contact police forces, transfer what evidence they have, and then we use the traditional systems.
How about dismantle the Patriot Act?
Huh?
Why don't we just get rid of the Patriot
Well, that'd
Act?
be part of it, yeah. I'm just talking about kind of the big,
Well,
broad
that's what
strokes.
we need to do,
Yeah.
and then have oversight. I don't know about having military tribunals and all that for regular citizens.
No. Sorry. If you're in the intelligence community and you go rogue, you don't get a normal trial. You get a military tribunal. The citizens have to go through the criminal trials, and we can allow some communication between between the military intelligence and the police force, because the police forces already have the oversight systems.
So your rights can be foregone.
No. I'm not talking about the citizens. If you work in intelligence, you are joining the military.
You're still a citizen.
No, if you are going to join military, if you're going to join intelligence, you have to join the military.
But if you're a member of the military, you're still a citizen of the country in which you reside.
No, but
You're a
lose certain
citizen,
rights
but
when
you
sign up.
forfeit rights.
Wait.
Yeah, like when you go to prison,
Yeah.
you're still a citizen of the United States, but you don't get to vote.
Let me ask you something. Why would intelligence need to go under the branch of the military?
Because the vast majority of intelligence deals with foreign affairs and almost always ends up eventually in the hands of the military. Why do we need the middleman?
I don't think
you
there
have
is.
a civilian area of the government and you have a military arm of the government. If you're going to put everything under the military, then you're a militarized state.
Because you're violating the separation of powers and the checks and balances.
Right.
But
The military
CIA
is meant to keep the administration in check, and the administration is meant to keep the military
But what
in
is
check.
the job of intelligence services? Their job is to keep an eye on foreign situations.
Yeah, but it's not all intelligence services. The FBI isn't
I'm
foreign.
not saying that we need to put the FBI under the control. I'm saying that we take the CIA, we get rid of it, scatter it to the wind as JFK said he wanted to do it, and the bits and pieces that deal with military intelligence goes to the DIA military system. And if any of those guys go rogue, they're dealt with in the military tribunal system, which is much harder to game than traditional courts.
What other intelligence agencies would you like to see put under military control?
I don't want the NSA to exist anymore. I don't want the CIA to exist anymore. The DIA is already under military control.
So you just want an FBI and then a military arm of...
Yeah, FBI is law enforcement. They've got their own version of intelligence, but that's law enforcement intelligence. They deal with the citizenry, and then the military deals with all the foreign stuff. And then there's some trade of information
like that's going under a militarized state, but
Did I say that I want the military intelligence spying on the citizenry? No, I want.
No, it's because you're centralizing more power in their hands. Is what she's saying?
Yeah, I have a problem with that. I don't want people to have more power.
Yeah, I see the concern. I
don't like the idea of them having more power than they already have.
Maybe it's naive of me, but would it not make sense to set up a system where they can be scrutinized more closely?
I like that.
That could work too, but we already have But the thing is, they can just refuse to work with the Congress or the system. They've already done it.
You need to have somebody watch the watchers.
Yeah. You see, with the CIA, I mean, that a lot of that is integral to like espionage against foreign nations. I mean, that's stuff that they're tasked with, at least in regards to getting information on foreign intelligence. That's the whole point of the CIA.
Yeah.
I just want to ask Wonder Singh, Uncle, and Spot, do you want to add your 2 cents to this?
Oh no, I'm fine on this topic. You guys can go discuss.
Yeah, you guys go ahead and enjoy this one. I'll jump in when I get the chance.
And Spot?
I'm too busy checking Twitter and realizing I need more bleach.
Spot is our official Twitter correspondent.
Poor man.
Okay, if he's the Twitter correspondent, who's the Kekistani correspondent and who's the legal correspondent?
We're waiting to set up a consulate as we speak.
I'm your man.
Well, okay. Just to interject, here's a brief snippet of the cancer I'm coming across. Repealing Obamacare is a Russian plot to kill Americans.
Amen.
I knew it.
Putin!
Guys, I would like to put on our tinfoil hats for a moment.
Okay.
What if the media is kind of right but still wrong about the whole Trump-Putin relationship? What if there is one controlling the other, but it's not Putin controlling Trump, but it's Trump controlling Putin?
Oh no, not this 4D chess argument again.
Oh,
4D
come on.
chess.
With the reveal
I'm
of this...
afraid I confirm that you're 1 dimension out.
It's actually 5D chess now.
Personally
It's 5D
speaking,
chess.
I think that Trump is playing the media, like he's making
And with the reveal of this Vault 7 stuff, Trump has made himself...
that he does so that they can go further and further. And then what pops up, when the bubble pops, that just goes back to their credibility.
Yeah. But with this
I think there are 2 things going on with that. I mean, it's probably that Putin has been trying to have some kind of influence. I mean, the Russians have been trying to have an influence over the American election process since 1917.
Well, that's pretty obvious.
That's if anything, I don't care. I mean, America has been influencing other countries try to game other countries' political process since time immemorial. It's just what countries do.
And I wouldn't be opposed to...
I think what's going on, though, is that there is an opinion among the establishment, a realization that having an enemy to focus the country at, especially when the country doesn't like the establishment, is a really important thing.
Oh, yeah, it's a uniting.
It's called the other. I'm studying this in sociology right now.
They don't want to target
like
Islam because Islam would make a good enemy, but they don't want to target it because of the class of people who make up the establishment are just opposed to that. Yeah. So they go for the old enemy, which is Russia.
But the problem is, if you know anything about Russian military hardware and readiness,
they're not a threat at all.
They're the only threat they have is nuclear weaponry, and well, that is endgame. That's endgame scenario. We're done.
There is no. It goes
humanity had a good run.
A to
It's time to punch the clock. We're out.
And to be
from
realistic,
the other side of the coin, they're desperately trying to avoid a situation in which war is being thrust upon them. Yeah. It was very, very clear that Hillary and whoever seemed to be pulling her strings wanted war.
Soros.
Russia did not want war, but was constantly being goaded.
Yeah, it's also unclear.
Of course, it's in their interest to try to appeal to Trump. He did not want war with Russia.
Yeah. And what's wrong with having a respectful and cordial relationship with a very easily arguably former rival nation? What's wrong with being respectful and cordial one another? Not friendly, but respectful and cordial.
Yeah,
with Bill Clinton and Boris Yeltsin.
To put my tinfoil hat on, is America was moving very socialist from a place of capitalism, and Russia is moving opposite. So we were just changing places, in a sense. Still rivals, just instead of just changing moral standards.
I think Russia represents sort of a return to what you would call Westphalian democracy, this idea of states leaving each other largely alone to their own devices and their own spheres of influence, and they have a very multipolar view of the world. Very fitting because they're Greek Orthodox, and that's kind of how that church is structured.
And we're going into more of the socialist...
Well, Russian is Byzantine Rite, correct? That's part of the creed.
Well, yeah, but Russian Orthodox is like the specific.
It's specific to them. But what I'm saying is that America is moving very much towards a sort of globalist technocracy.
Yeah.
And in a sense, you could say that the two countries represent different views of the world, but it's no longer like, oh, one side's going to throw you in a gulag and the other side isn't. It's sort of
it was more our side trying to put you in that gulag.
Yeah,
our side trying to put you in the gulag now.
Yeah, now it's questionable how morally righteous is our side compared to Westphalian democracy.
Those that's opposed to the left now, and opposed to socialism now, we can see being more allied to Russia because they're moving into a place where we would all like to go.
So you're familiar with that kind of stuff, Z, with the denomination stuff or whatever?
Oh, God,
somewhat. I mean, I'm not the most well-versed in all of it. I mean, there are certainly people who are definitely better experts than me at that.
I know Putin
I know it in an intellectual sense.
I know Putin tries to gain popular support by making those appeals with the Russian Orthodox, but that's that.
Yeah.
Do you think that influences his policy? I mean, at least in how.
No, what I mean is it's a cultural thing. It's that the Eastern Orthodox people have a kind of an attitude about the world that it's every bishop is equal, so to them every country should be kind of equal. Whereas America has followed very much a Western, there is a top dog, and these are the vassals that do what the top dog says. Whereas the Orthodox churches have always... It's sort of a cultural argument. I can't necessarily prove that that's just me throwing out a cultural explanation.
I'm not inclined to agree with that assertion. Certainly in the last
Russia has been
few
licking
years.
its wounds for close to 30 years now.
I think that they have more than enough problems of their own, and with the possibility of war looming over them, that's the last thing they want with a side that would hand them their own backside.
And also, Sargon kind of put it very interesting in my eyes. All Russia wants is just a modicum of respect. That's all it wants. It doesn't... I don't even think it really wants... I mean, Putin probably wants to go back to the glory days of the Soviet Union because he's former KGB.
Well, I
don't might just want to continue existing as Russia. They don't want to be destroyed, as it were.
See, I don't think he wants to return to the Soviets. I think he wants to return to the glories of the imperial regime when the Tsar controlled.
I think he wants to totally put like the bourgeoisie back in order. I'm kind of agreeing with Anthony on this one.
Make Russia great again?
Yeah. But I think Putin's too radical for it.
Yeah, but it would be in line with what the Russian Orthodox would want. I mean, they want to return to monarchy. I mean, it's obvious that the Catholic right, and those are analogous to their views.
And if a majority of people,
monarchists,
and if there is a majority of the people in Russia that want to do a constitutional monarchy, we don't have any right to stop them.
No, I would embrace it, and I feel like that's what the CIA should be sticking around for, is because they have set up. No, I can't remember it off the top of my head, but they have set up a few successful democracies out of for lack of better terms, a very crappy government. And so I don't want to just get rid of I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I don't want to get rid of them all at once.
I don't want us destabilizing nations. It's not our job.
That's true too. Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's a hard point to argue for, but...
Speaking of
let me ask you something. What nations did they set up successful democracies in?
I'm going to have to Google it, but I did a report on them. And I'm sorry, I'm in game right now. I'm sorry.
And second question is, out of how many they tried, how many...
They failed the majority.
Yeah. Then they have no purpose. That whole idea could be scrapped immediately.
They set up Saddam, and Saddam was working out for
they helped set up they helped prop up the Shah in
the
Iran.
Taliban.
Yeah, none of these are screaming success.
All right, I'm sorry.
It's just Saddam only went back. Saddam only went back when we decided that we had enough of the oil or whatever. So that Saddam thing was working, man.
I think the CIA should be purely refocused on observation and threat assessment, and just stay out of the mucking about in things. Just keep an eye on stuff, and if something needs doing, shoot it up the chain, and then it'll be dealt with by it'll be dealt with either by police force if it happens to be a citizen they stumbled across, or it'll be dealt with by the military if it's a foreign threat.
But I feel like that's getting rid of that whole...
I think realistically it's not going to... Because the technology is now there to have essentially global surveillance to some degree. I think as long as that technology is there, the temptation for shadowy institutions, whether they're under military control or civilian control, quote-unquote military or civilian control, the temptation to use that kind of power is just going to be there. I mean...
Well, then our only option is to destroy the technology and become Luddites.
Well, the problem is there needs to be correspondence between the administrative and the military. You can't just centralize it purely in the administrative or the military.
But one thing we could do to help protect would be separating the doers from the observers. The watchmen just watch. They don't have the ability to poke at anything. Whereas the guards, they can't see anything, but they can do things, and then you separate it. Kind of the opposite. We take away the CIA's ability to actually do things and just observe.
Spot, were you trying to say something before?
I was reminding myself that mass genocide is not an option.
Smart.
Well, no,
Smart.
Still drinking the bleach.
Sipping away.
Apparently, there's a new sexuality.
Oh, what is it?
Fuck Christ! What is it now? Spawn.
Abros.
Down on this.
What?
It's what?
Abros.
Explain.
Fluctuates between different sexualities.
So,
isn't it just gender fluid?
No, it's sexual.
It's sexual fluid.
Is there people that think they can be heterosexual one day and
it's like
homosexual
Mr.
another?
Potato Head, where you can pop on parts and take them off again.
Yeah. How colorful is the flag? Like, how many colors? I'm just curious how bright and colorful is it?
5.
Not even a real... not a real gender until you have 6.
I'm gay today, straight tomorrow.
But seriously, if you can go between homosexual and heterosexual, isn't that just bisexual?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's just a new term for bisexual or gender fluid.
Remember, there's 150 genders that we're born to see. To be a gender studies master is my destiny. And yes, I just
Pokemon. Gotta catch them all.
And remember, there's like 50 sexualities now.
Well, would you like to post the image so I can share it with everyone?
And to not like sex at all.
Let me open up my Discord and I'll share it with everyone.
That's just speaking of old and wrinkly.
Hey, if you don't like sex anymore, you're gay. So that's homosexual.
So, no, if you don't like sex, you're asexual.
No, you're gay. You're homosexual.
No, you are not.
Okay.
If you don't like having sex,
realistically,
you're asexual.
All right, guys, let's try to steer this direction back.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask a question to the group.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, when it comes to asexuals, this is just maybe I'm being a horrible cishet white male bigot. But
they had mental problems.
Has anyone ever met an asexual where somebody who says they're an asexual where it looks like they are making that choice, not that's something society chose, and that's just because I've met a few people who've said they're asexual, and I'm convinced that's not a choice they made. Okay.
I am sharing the screen for the stream. This is what it looks like.
Too many fat kids.
Wait.
What?
There was a patriarchal secret in that.
What? It was sponsored by a man?
By the
Can you have a flag and everything? Oh, God.
It's got the word brew in it.
Oh, dear.
Where? A bro.
Illuminati confirmed.
Questions are getting our stream.
Illuminati confirmed. No, sorry, patriarchy confirmed.
Liberty, what does it have in there?
Bro.
Oh my God! How
they have their own flag already?
Oh boy!
Well, to answer your question, C, at least from my own anecdotes, there's only one person I ever met who claimed that he was asexual. I I find it very hard to believe him.
So we should define that to the audience,
Anthony, as opposed to people who are celibate for various different reasons. The most common one I can think of is usually some kind of religious reason or problems with addiction. True asexuality, I don't know if that's even possible. Though I'm sure somebody can point me to scientific evidence.
Can you define that for us?
I don't know if it's possible to be asexual whilst being bombarded with hormones.
Asexual, its definition is basically you have no sexual interest whatsoever.
But you're also tend to be gender fluid or gender neutral.
Spawn, what I'm saying is that I find it difficult to believe that is indeed the case. I'm aware of the definition. I'm saying I find it difficult.
They were asking for the definition.
Oh, okay. I do apologize.
It's not as weird as object sexual.
I'm just saying I find it difficult to.
I've only encountered this one girl who said she was asexual, and she was part of a tribe of girls. I call them a tribe because they're just this clique of friends, and they all decided they were asexual. And they would all talk about all the guys that would hit on them, and I knew in my head as I'm listening to this story, I'm like, that's never happened before. No man who's not blind. She had a lot of cats. She was getting ready for that life. It uglier than fuck too. It was really bad.
Aww.
I felt bad for her, but she was also going deep into social justice at that point. So I was like, well, I didn't need that friend anyway.
But
taste in anime sucked.
What about object? Has anyone ever heard of object sexuals?
People who want to fuck objects, yeah. Them.
Have you met one?
Cruel gods, why?
No.
What is that?
I never want to meet one.
This is why God gives floods, locusts, and such. This is why.
Do body pillows count within that category?
No, it's people that want to have relationships with objects.
Like there's this. Actually, I heard this story years ago about a guy who made porn of himself fucking picnic tables.
Yeah, we're not talking about fetishes, like people get sexually aroused by objects. People that want to have relationships with objects.
Like the dude that had sex with his car.
Like my girlfriend, my car's my girlfriend.
Addiction?
Yeah,
I saw
that
episode.
guy. Yeah.
Oh my god.
He's just sitting there having sex with his car. How do you film that? That's what I want to know. Like, how do you film that? Now start doing what you do with the car.
The Learning Channel has been taking the concept of learning in strange directions, in my opinion.
Isn't the end result of that chase a transformer?
Oh.
Yeah.
Don't give him ideas, Felicity. Don't give him ideas, otherwise we're going to have to get a white van and take him to the place with the nice men in the white coats.
Okay, no, Blop, it's not a transformer. It's fucking Beast Machines, which is worse.
No, I'm going to have to show him on the bear where they touched me.
Deviant art, here I come.
I'm crying over here.
You poor soul, don't go to DeviantArt.
Miss Malevolent, do you have anything to add to this?
Not nothing.
We've gone through the looking glass, Dorothy, and jumped down the rabbit hole. Somebody cut the safety line.
Be very wary, Miss Malevolent. If people start looking at your DVD cases
I'm I am ordering my DVDs because I finished the Blu-rays last night.
The cases.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, we seem to have jumped in our professional manner very far away from Vault 7.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Oh my god.
The CIA
hacked our brains. They hacked our brains to stop us talking about it.
It's the Russians.
It's the Russians.
We were
We're
talking
just
shit
too
and they
much in a
showed
hurry.
up.
Oh my god, guys!
Yes.
We've hit
Meme Central.
There's a CNN presenter who's getting some backlash over something he did.
What did he do?
This time.
He told the truth.
No, he visited.
Stop.
He went to India, visited a Hindu cannibal sect, and ate human brain.
No, you're lying.
What?
Reza Aslan, right?
The Believer, that television series for CNN.
Reza Aslan?
Yeah, Reza Aslan.
Is that what you're talking about?
So hold on, because I hear a lot of people being so what you mean to tell me is nobody in this group of people would try a little piece of human brain?
Oh, look, we were having this conversation with Uncle, where he said that if there was no laws subject to it, like the impossible thing that you would choose, regardless of ethical implications.
No.
Dude said human.
No.
Like it's the
Your
most
dream.
taboo, the most repulsive, and the most dangerous game out there.
Well, okay. If you're going
dream,
camping
Uncle.
in the high mountains, do bring that one friend you think would be edible. Because I studied the Donner Party, and I want to be the one who makes it out of that.
Also, just to kind of go into the bit of the scientific part of cannibalism, it is actually extremely unhealthy for you until you eat enough of it.
Yeah, you get misfolded proteins, and you get like serious problems,
things like that. But eventually, your body actually gets used to it and tolerant to it, and then you're fine. Also, you are risk of getting. You guys know mad cow disease, right? You want to know what caused it?
Yeah.
Cows eating other cows' brains.
They can.
Yeah, mad cow disease.
Variant CJD, was it?
Something like that. Yeah, they theorize that humans could have something similar happen to them.
So
now I'm not big on the eating organs. So brain doesn't.
What about the placenta? Would you consider that?
I need to ask a question from our intel expert. Are these cannibals? Are they eating dead bodies that they exhume, or people that recently died?
Okay, I actually saw years ago a video in school about this group. They are a group of untouchables. And are an exceptionally, because of what they do, and they're an exceptionally insular community. What they do is they go to a funeral pyre, because the most common way of disposing of bodies in India is open funeral pyres. They'll take some of the flesh and then take it somewhere to cook it.
Okay.
Well, why don't they shoot the fire on the spot? Yeah.
So they're not murdering people.
No. They consume the flesh of of those from a funeral. They're untouchables, and they are very, to my knowledge, ignored in India because people just don't want to deal with them.
So they're necrovores.
Cannibalism.
They don't eat a lot. They only eat like the equivalent of like an ounce or two of human flesh at a time, and it's not very common.
Does that make it okay?
Oh, yeah, that's all right.
It makes
then.
it less bad. That's about
So
it.
they're necrovores.
I only beat my wife occasionally.
Can I tell you why the guy's getting
and it's
backlash?
only when she starts it.
Why is he getting backlash?
But seeing as this is all your fault anyway.
Well, because among a lot of Muslims, that would be considered unclean, right? Right? It's haram.
Let Spud speak.
Okay, the reason why they're upset isn't because the guy ate the brains. It's because it's making Hinduism look bad.
What? That's retarded.
It's a very small sect of Hinduism. It
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They said Hindu in the broadcast, so therefore they think that all people assume all Hindus are cannibals.
But he's portraying it positively, right? So
I fuck if I know. I'm not watching the video because I'd rather not see somebody eating
You see one poor Chinese person eating a cat, and you assume everything we eat over here in America is cat. I'm just saying. It's the way mass thought works.
I'm quoting because it's apparently a Democrat from Hawaii who's bitching right now.
When are they not?
When is the sun not shining?
The person who
Aslan apparently thought
who ate human brain, Spot. The person who ate human brain, did it have any noticeable improvement in their reporting?
No idea.
Nothing can help raise Aslan.
But anyway, Aslan apparently sought to find sensationalist and absurd ways to portray Hinduism. Aslan and CNN didn't just throw a harsh light on a sect of wandering ascetics to create shocking visuals as if touring a zoo, but repeated false stereotypes about caste, karma, and reincarnations that Hindus have been combating tirelessly.
But they've been protecting the caste system for generations. Not even Gandhi could get rid of it. And he tried hardcore.
And apparently the guy in question looks like he's wearing pieces of human bone as hair decoration.
Of course. Are you even surprised at this point? No.
I am copying link, posting it in Discord. You can all look at that at your own leisure. I've gone far enough down this rabbit hole.
But I bet that Aslan is not viewed very positively in the Muslim community because that would be considered ritually unclean, right? To eat the flesh of the dead humans, no less.
It's hard to say because he's done so much water carrying for them, like with Sam Harris.
He's not
people went after him.
He's not a moderate Muslim. He's a liberal Muslim. With some of his views, if you look into his views, he's
like the worst kind of person.
He's a liberal Muslim. He's not a centrist. He's not a conservative. He's definitely a liberal Muslim.
Yeah, he'll be used and then tossed away when the time is right.
Speaking of brown people, here's a segue for you.
Oh my god.
Quickly, get your anti-Richard Spencer body armor on, guys.
Here's a topic that I'm going to open up to the floor for full-on discussion. The Taco Man himself, Jorge Ramos.
Wait, hold on. Before you do that, did you all hear what I said about the DVD I picked up while you all were talking about cannibalism?
No.
Eating Raul.
Sometimes warfare.
Many deaths.
A
lot of blood was paid.
Also, I'm not saying that all those cultures are
what I mean is that if it's not going to work.
Let me get this point across. In terms of, say, those particular cultures and, I don't know, what I'm going to say, an immigrant Islamic culture, the former are more similar to each other when compared to the latter, and are more compatible with each other.
Right.
Well, yeah. What I mean is that
proximity-based reasons, and are at times diametrically opposed to the latter's culture.
Well, also, the thing is that only truly working multicultural, quote-unquote, societies that work, there's actually a undercurrent of a similar of a homogenous culture underneath all of it. There is a superculture that has these disparate groups.
Oh yeah, like something like Swiss or British.
Like the idea of the melting pot. Basically, what happens is the bad stuff burns off, and the good stuff gets incorporated into it. That's how it should work.
That will be America. That will be what freedom is. That would we come over here, we let you do what you do, and we will leave you alone for you to be able to do. That would be the super culture.
But you have to be willing to work within our culture. That's the cost of being here as well.
But
you have to be willing to work within our culture, understand what where we are coming from, and we'll let you do your own thing. But don't.
Part of what destroyed us is the destruction of common decency with the upheaval. I don't know. Give me a word, but the creation of political correctness. When it was no longer people, when you get around a group of people, you just try to be decent to each other. Now you just got to try to fit in.
It's called respectability politics. A lot of people, you see both people that are kind of like post-left, post-liberal, I should say, who reject respectability politics. Also, the alt-right seem to be a rejecter of respectability
politics. It depends
politics.
on which part of the alt-right, because you got to remember the alt-right is extremely wide base.
Respectability politics tends to be a kind of thing. Nah, whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Here's some memes, like that kind of like no holds bar.
Yeah.
I'm going to say fuck your mother, and I'm going to post a meme, and I'm going to laugh at you. And that kind of presumes,
Anthony, there's now a ministry of memes.
Yeah, that basically presupposes that all bets are off. That's a rejection of respectability politics.
Yeah. Well, we're at that point.
It's been around an hour.
We're at about 58 minutes.
Lady and gentlemen. Yeah. So, should we wrap things up?
Praise Keck Chatelaide, free Kickstand.
Closing comments, everybody. Would you like to have a closing comment, Miss Malevolent?
I'm good.
Anthony?
Well, I definitely think that there are a lot of pressing issues that still need to be talked about, and unfortunately, what we have here is not a platform that is allowed in other circles, and that's very unfortunate. But I think these things need to continue to be discussed and bantied about, or else there will never be solutions to this to the kind of issues that exist in our present day and age.
Wondersin?
Me?
Nope, that would be Gabe Trout, I believe.
Yeah.
Any closing statements?
Yep. Hope we have a thoughtful discussion next time.
We're closing arguments right now.
I don't have any. It's just I've just been listening.
Very well. Uncle Up?
Yeah, the beautiful thing about living in this information age is we have a lot of hindsight. We can look back and see very quickly about shit that we tried that worked and didn't work. And right now, the whole multicultural thing isn't working. So, we might have to try something else.
Yeah, I agree.
T?
Dank memes melt steel beams. I got nothing.
Dank memes don't melt steel beams.
It's really doing.
They melt autism vaccines.
Spartacus?
Hashtag very fake news. Multiculturalism has failed.
China.
And Seawalt?
Just the general stuff. Try to be better every day. Don't try to fix things. Don't try to make the world brighter from the top down. Do the whole everyone do their little part in their own little corner. That kind of general stuff. And remember, people, unplug your webcams and put tape over them if it's on a laptop.
Bring back the brick phone. Thank you very much, Seawalt, for hosting.
Yep, no problem.
Thanks a lot. And thanks to everyone else for participating. And hopefully, if we're not all arrested before then, just catch you at the next hangout.